A very good morning and warm welcome to one and all for this webinar on intellectual property rights patents organized by Department of Biotechnology under the banner of Transgenic Clerk, Cayley Societies S. Nijlingappa College. I am Dr. Pratibha KS, HOD, Department of Biotechnology, and it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar on IPR patents. Any occasion needs the divine blessings of the Lord Almighty. Let us invoke the divine grace of Lord. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Samasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amrutangamaya, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. From ignorance, lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. From death, lead me to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Today, I'm deeply honored to see you all here. This webinar has been organized in order to share insights on intellectual property, specifically about patent, and to discuss most relevant issues on IPR. IPR, which protect the intellectual property of an inventor. Patent is a special rights given to the inventor that has been granted by the government through legislation for trading new inventions. Dear students, we have amongst us our eminent speaker, Dr. Jyoti E., Head Department of Biotechnology from SGR College for Women's, Bengaluru, to deliver a talk on IPR patent. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Jyoti E. for accepting our invitation. Thank you, madam, for joining us. This is our first biotechnology startup webinar. Once again, a big thanks to you for gracing this occasion. Now, let me introduce today's guest speaker. It is really a very great pleasure to welcome and introduce today's guest speaker for the webinar, Dr. Jyoti E. She has completed her education from Bangalore, PUC education from Seshadripuram College, graduation from Maharani's Science College, post-graduation from Government Science College, and she is awarded with PhD in biotechnology under the guidance of Dr. D.J. Bhagyaraj, INSA, Honorable Scientist and Chairman, CNB-RCD, Bengaluru. She is a member of many statutory board of education and science associations. She has many national and international publications to her credit, and she has presented research outcomes at various national, international conferences and seminars. Her research papers, posters has been awarded a best poster at lecture series on Menelaus groups and periods, Nature to Nurture, on 17th October 2019 at MLSCW Bangalore. With this brief introduction, I present before you today's guest speaker, Dr. Jyoti, to initiate session of webinar on intellectual property rights. Over to you, madam. You can take this session.
Thank you, Pratibha ma'am, for your wonderful introduction. Let me start the webinar with a brief introduction. Let's define biotechnology, the application of science and technology to living organisms as well as part, products and models thereof, altering living and non-living materials for production of knowledge, goods and services. Now, according to European Commission, biotechnology can be divided into three streams. You have green biotechnology, white biotechnology, and red biotechnology. Let's not look into the details as such, but green biotechnology is an environmental bio-friendly methodology for product production. White biotechnology applies use of renewable resources. Red biotechnology involves in usage of engineering processes for getting antibiotics, vaccines, in general pharmaceutical products. Now let's look into the brief introduction of intellectual property right. As you can see the picture here, intellectual is the intelligence one has, the inventor's intelligence for giving the output, what do you call it as property, and you need to protect the property, so you go for rights. So intellectual property rights is rightly called property which arises from the human intellect. It is a product of human creation, should not be robbed by others, so need to be protected. Now it can be comprised of two distinct forms. You have literary and artistic works that can be protected by copyrights, You have industrial property which can be protected by patent, trademark, trade secrets. Now let's have the glimpses of the kinds of IPs you have. You have patents, which we are going to discuss further, trademarks meant for protecting computer icons, graphic designs, so on and so forth. You have registered designs meant for medical devices, biochemical, biophysical apparatus. You have trade secrets. It is again a law which protects the design of workbooks. It is mainly with reference to clinical data which is generated for the therapeutical approval. You have plant breeders right, which is having or which is giving right to the farmers, and domain names is the right which can be given to protect the web addresses. Now, what are the conditions that need to be patentable? Now, if you have some invention, it need to be novel, so it should be new. So novelty is one condition. You have inventiveness as one more condition. So the patent should be invented, not discovered. You know the difference between discovery and the invention. It should be your own creation. And after all this, it's new, it's inventive, but if it is not having use, then it is useless. So it should have some usefulness. So these are the three conditions: novelty, inventiveness, and usefulness for an inventor to take care for his product to be patented. Now there are filters which can be applied for patent or subject matters. If an invention is happening, the inventor should take care of all these filters. Without undergoing this filtration process, he or she can't go for patenting. So as I told you, it should be useful, it should be novel, it should be non-obvious, and there should be some specifications which is very important for you to get a patent. So this is a model which gives you the patent filter. Now what is patent actually? I told you it's an exclusive statutory right given by the government, in particular by law, which assigns the applicant to have a right over the invention for a period of 20 years. Okay. Now for a period of 20 years, when a patent is issued, it can have three different kinds of patents. One can be utility patent, another one design patent, then plant patent. Utility patent, as the name indicates, it's for the usefulness of the project or the process or the product, or it can be design patent. Now, if you look into the ornamental designs of certain articles, they would have patented. Even for example, if you take sari, you have something called as Pochampalli sari or Kanjivaram sari. All these are patented. So that goes to the geographical design of patent. Now you have plant patent given for the farmers to protect their new variety. Now where to apply patent? Now if you have an invention in your hand which serves all the conditions, that's utility, innovativeness, and non-obviousness, you want to file a patent, how do you go about that? Now if you have to file a patent, you can go for online patent filing or you can go for offline patent filing. It is having some jurisdiction where some territories come under certain head office. I have shown a picture of patent office, that's intellectual property right, New Delhi. You have 4 patent offices located in India. One is in Mumbai, which has these many jurisdictions. So there are territories which comes under Mumbai. Say for example, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, etc. You have Delhi patent office, which covers all this jurisdiction. Chennai, which covers Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Telangana, and so on. You have Kolkata, rest of India is taken care. So Kolkata has the head office for taking care of patent law. Now this is just for you to give an extra information, the addresses and the patent office. If you want to check out the addresses, you can just log into or Google and check where exactly you have patent offices in India. Now this is the screen or the dashboard which you get when you go for filing a patent. It's the Government of India, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department of Industrial Policies, where it is taken care by the Government of India under a patent law. So here you can see, you can just register and directly log into this and file a patent. Now this is how an application form of patent looks in India. So you will have a applicant name. If you have someone to nominate, you also have a nominal name. to be given, and what is that you're going to present it before them. That is, what is your invention and what is the specification made, how long you need the time for it. All that need to be filled and submitted to the patent office. Now, this is a hierarchy level which is taken care in the patent office, particularly to India. So this is the flow chart you can see here. You have the highest authority, the Control General of Patent. Next come Assistant Controller, Deputy, Joint, and then Senior. Now this level has to be passed for anyone to get a patent. So after all the examination, one can get the patent. Now it is not that simple for you to get a patent. You need to file a patent. So that's what is filing of application. And once you file, say if it's today, 15th May, from this day, your time or the date is counted. And then the next procedure is you need to meet some objections. Just you file the application and say you want a patent, you'll not get. There will be some objections which is made, and you will have to generally answer the objection within a month. Okay. And after which you'll have to after that they will give a publication in the gazetted office. Then you'll have to go for request of examination. So there will be controller who will be looking at the protocol of yours. There will be a subject expert who takes care of it, and there will be first investigation report or examination report which will be given to you within 1 month or within 3 months. You will have to reply to it. Okay, then you'll have to meet the objections. Say if they tell your protocol is wrong, where exactly it's wrong, where you need to rectify and put it across to the patent office. After all this, they give you a patent. Okay, now you have a patent. It's not that you're free of it. Again, 1 more year is left for anyone to file a case against your grant of patent. So 1 year after post grant, you can have still oppositions which can be made. Now there is government supreme power. Any patent issued in India can be used by the government. So it's not that it's only your claim. Okay, but if you have no royalty, it means if your invention is not done before you patent, then you will not be paid any royalty by the government of India. Or if you have the product which is already there, then government of India will pay the royalty to the concerned assignee or the applicant. Now let's only look into the competition policy of India, that is a monopolies and restrictive trade practices. Why I'm highlighting this is, it was this MRTP which took care of Monsanto. You know what is Monsanto? It's a company which will market BT gene seeds. That's what is Terminator genes, which was marketed by Monsanto. And you know, see the price here. They used to market it for rupees 900. What is the amount they used to give is 450 grams of seed. So a commission which was formed and they were against this, still Monsanto could overcome that and still market the seeds. Now you can see here, this is a Terminator gene technology. Genetically modified seeds, when purchased from Monsanto company, can be cultivated, can be propagated for you to get a crop. But seeds of this cannot be sown further. So that was the drawback, and there were so many activists to fight against this. This is very important. That's Plant Variety and Farmers' Right Act, put forth in 2001. This act is meant to protect the new varieties of farmers. Say today farmer comes out with a hybrid variety, that new variety can be protected. How do they go for protection? And how many years of grant is given to them? See, if it is trees and vines, 18 years of patent is given, or Plant Protection Act covers 18 years. Or if you have crop, 15 years. If you have extinct varieties, it's for 15 years again. Okay. You have very important thing, that's Plant Protection Variety Act, that farmers' right. Here, if a farmer comes out with a particular breed or a new variety or a transgenic variety or extinct variety, allied species, here again you can protect it. So this particular firm will collect the seed sample, check the seeds, give authority for the particular farmer to have a right over it. And also they preserve the seed in their seed bank for further investigation if required. Here you have hierarchy level which starts from a chairman, commissioner, registrar, assistant registrar. So this is regarding the farmer's right in India. So you would have heard about TRIPS agreement. This will actually take care of the rights you have, whether it's copyrights, geographical indication, industry design, patents, trademarks. But one drawback of this is it's an international treaty, international agreement by WTO, but they are not having a control over the transgenic varieties. So there led a declaration, Doha Declaration. Let me not go into the detail of Doha Declaration, but this was a declaration which was started in the year 2001 by all developing countries who were really concerned about the medicines they are going to promote. So out of this declaration, what was the result is whatever inventions is made related to medicine has to be given free hand for marketing instead of claiming over it. So here I have shown the timeline of the rights when it was put forth into rule. You have copyrights in the year 1957. Let's look into Patent Act. It was into 1970. There was other kind of act. It can be trademarks, GI, or so on and so forth. We have India's new IPR policy, which was taken care by Modi and Obama due to series of meetings, and they promised around $4 billion investment for it. So let me tell you one story. India was actually seriously attacked for intellectual property rights, which was intensified in the year 2012. When the Indian patent controller allowed local production of an expensive cancer drug, there was some againstness showed by certain countries worldwide, that's especially with US related activities. So what happened? There was a new Indian policy which was put forth by Indian government jointly with Obama, that's called as Affordable Care Act, where US is also supporting it. Here you can just a very higher price, that's for rupees 1 lakh. Out of this policy, what is the outcome? It can be sold for a very lesser price in thousands, that's 8,800. Further, the price might fall due to this policy. Now, this is a successful story. Hope you would have seen this activist. She is Vandana Shiva, who is the pioneer of Navdanya. So she started Navdanya. She's a philosophist, she's an activist. She actually has protected Indian biodiversity or India's biodiversity based on a word or a term, Bija Swaraj. So she has created 122 community seed banks in India over 18 states, and that seeds is supplied to farmers when there is disasters. And also, she has led a lot of campaign. I will just highlight only few of it. There's one biopiracy where Navadanya started the campaign against the biopiracy of neem. Okay, you know, neem is actually the one which can be claimed by Indians, but you can see there are patents which are filed in European Patent Office in Germany. They claim that it is having fungicidal property, which was known to us way back from our ancestor period. Now the neem case was revoked in the year 2000 and it was reconfirmed on 2005 that it belongs to India. Likewise, you have successful stories of wheat, Naphal, then you have Basmati rice case. Now all this is revoked, and now hot and leading campaign is happening with GMO, that's banana campaign against genetically modified banana, where the banana is modified for high rich iron content. Now if you have a patent file, after you get a patent, how does a patent look like? So this is a certificate of grant of patent where you'll have patent number, proprietor name, you can be the proprietor, also the inventor can be the proprietor. So it sounds nice when you have a patent on your own. Now, this is to motivate you. We have a youngest boy, a 9-year-old boy called Hridayeshwar Singh Bhatti. He belongs to Jaipur and was inspired by the drawings. You can see the boy is wheelchair bound. He is a special child. He has patented a chessboard, who has created a chessboard for 6 players. Otherwise, only 2 can play the chess. So why I am giving you this particular picture is the boy who's special has got motivated and has a patent. You're all grown ups and you can still get motivated and do higher studies, and you can also do research for you to have a patent on your own. Now, what it means by patenting life? I have told the successful stories of patenting plants. See, when you're patenting plants, plants is living organism. It's living thing. So then came animals, which can be patented. DNA also can be patented. Now, patents are granted only on human invention, but slowly it moved to humans as well. This is a successful story. In the year 1980, scientist Chakravarti, he fought for patenting a bacterium, Pseudomonas, which can digest the oil spill. So this is the first patent which was granted in US Supreme Court for living organism. So this created a agitation and heralded a new era in which organisms also can be patented. Now, impact on companies. There was a company called Genentech which offered millions of shares to the market, and Genentech had not yet introduced any single product onto market. Now, in the words, we have raw resource for future economic activity. What is the implication? A patent, which usually lasts for 17 to 20 years, gives an exclusive right to exploit the invention. Also, the genetically engineered seed, where farmers have to pay some license fees and royalties. Do you think it is having some ethics with this? No. So you have Plant Patent Act, which was put forth by USA. According to this, the word plant itself can be patented. Now, when there are people who are telling organism can be patented, plant can be patented, what if human can be patented? There comes something which is against your biocolonialism. What is biocolonialism? You have seen our ancestors sharing seeds. Okay, say for example, to name a few, US and Europe potatoes and tomatoes from Latin America is shared everywhere. Soybean from China, wheat, rye and barley from the Middle East. But if they would have claimed, we wouldn't have got all this variety throughout the world. So the very sharing is gone there, and you're asking the farmers to pay money and royalties for this new varieties. So this is a story regarding neem again. There was a component which was extracted called as azadirachtin, which is a neem product and was used as biopesticides. So there was some claim by US company, that's W.R. Grace, not to use this neem because they claim that neem is their own material where they have patented. So again, that was revoked. We have animal patenting. In the year 1987, Harvard biologist was granted a patent for animal. You know what do you mean by oncomouse? It's a genetically modified mouse for doing research on cancer. Okay. Also, there are other animals slowly which got the grant of patents. That's turkeys, nematodes, mice, rabbits, and so on and so forth. Tracy's story is very interesting, where it had human genes introduced into mammary glands. Now, why it was introduced? For production of a clotting factor alpha-1 antitrypsin in the milk of Tracy. And this Tracy was granted patent, and it is regarded as mini factories walking around in the field. So animals also can be patented. Human gene also can be patented. Actually, earlier it was thought DNA has no life, it can't be patented. But there is a statistic still not clear. 1,250 patents on human gene sequences have been granted by US Patent Office. Let's go to another example. This is again very interesting. In the year 1976, a leukemia patient called John Murray in the University of California was actually operated for spleen cancer, and still his cell has been retained by them, and it is called as Mo cell line, which is having a value to do research on cancer. But when the same person came back, when Mr. Moray demanded the cells to return it, it was not given to him. So court decided no way he is entitled and has rights over his own cell. So legal protection of biotechnological invention. You have Europe, the directive where patentable or patentability can be granted to biological material. There are certain objectives associated with it, where the processes for human cloning and for modifying germline genetic identity of humans may not be regarded as patent invention, which is against the ethics. Now, there are few things which can be patented. You have plant and animal varieties, essential biological processes, human body, and simple discoveries of one of its elements can be patented. But on the contrary, what cannot be patented? Processes of cloning human, processes for modifying germlines, no, and use of embryos for industrial production for commercial purpose, no, that cannot be done. Process for modifying the genetically identical animals, again, that can't be granted the patent. So these are the following which cannot be patentable. Now here I have shown a slide which is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. It's an organization which has 17 specialized agencies of United States, and they do celebrate World Intellectual Property Day, which was on April 28th, 26th. And WIPO currently has 189 member states. It has a headquarter in Geneva, Switzerland. It is actually having a number of states where they are functioning with reference to patents. And current Director General of WIPO is Francis Gure, who actually took charge in the year 2008, still continuing to do. This is a picture or a slide where you have WIPO headquarters located in Geneva and WIPO members and non-members around the globe. With few references, I would like to conclude my session. What is known, at least what I know, is only the tip of the huge iceberg of knowledge. There is a lot to explore, lot to work. I would like to conclude by saying thank you. Any questions, comments is welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such a wonderful session on IPR patent. Students,
Thank you, ma'am.
some questions. Could you give some more details about limits of patent?
Limits of patents, there are two things. One thing is it's limited for a small period of time. Say supposing if you have a research which can drag more than 20 years, then it lapses there. Again, you'll have to go for filing a patent. There again, there is a chance of someone robbing your information or taking your own process information. So that becomes a drawback. And limitation of space is also one more drawback.
Okay, thank you. That was a brief information. Then, is there any bioethics of patent?
Bioethics, as I mentioned now in the previous slides, you can't patent human body, you can't patent embryos, you can't patent living cells. So you even can't patent microbes. But in India, you can't do it. But in abroad, see, you have US Patent Office and European Patent Office, EPO. So there, if you don't file, it's not that if you don't get a patent in India, you can't file anywhere else in the world. You can always go to abroad and file a patent. So if you don't find here, you can always get it elsewhere. So that is what is against the bioethics. So living forms, if you are meddling with that, already transgenics is having a lot of drawbacks, though there are some benefits associated. But still, there are few things which you should not meddle with. Otherwise, nature will revert back and you will always have the problem associated with this.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. If you have any other
Thank you,
queries,
ma'am.
you can drop a message to me so that I can discuss with our today's speaker. Now we'll end this session. On behalf of KLE Society's S. Nijlingappa College, I thank Dr. Jyoti for accepting our invitation, who shared her valuable knowledge on the insights of IPR patent. Thank you, madam. I would like to thank Dr.
Thank you, ma'am.
Arun Kumar B. Sonappan, Principal, KLE SNC, a driving force, who always there for us as a backbone. Whatever occasion, he constantly supported us and guided us in conducting such kind of events. I must add, without you all, this webinar would have not been more successful. A warm thanks to all the participants for being here and attending enthusiastically. I also extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to KLE management, principal, and various department heads for this constant support. Now, I would like to thank all fellow biotechnology faculty for being with me and for their continuous support. Dear students, hope you have received a lot of information, which was really very scientific, which was fascinating to young and energetic minds. And I wish that all the students make use of this knowledge with zeal. Thank you all for joining and being a part of this webinar startup of biotechnology. Just question yourself, do we explore or do we exploit? Thank you all for offering your valuable time with this KLE Parivar. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you, Jyoti madam, for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am.